everyone, it's Emaphant here, and welcome to part 2 of the mid-century mini mansion. Side note, this is part 2, so if you'd like to check out part 1, I will link that in the description below, as well as potentially somewhere on the screen. I don't know, I'm new to YouTube, I don't know how to do that stuff yet, but that's the goal. So, this house, if you didn't watch the first one, that's fine. You don't need to, but whatever. It's a 6-bedroom house, 3 bathrooms. It's a big house, but it's kind of like secretively big. That's why I call it the mini mansion, is because it doesn't look intimidating from the front, but as you get into it, it's actually like really big and has a million things in it. So, this video, we're mostly just going to be working on finishing the first floor. Right now, we're working on the master bedroom, which is just, it's simple, it's classy, you know, we bring in some of the yellows and bluish greens that we had in the rest of the living room area, and then we'll also do the home office and then a ton of stuff in the backyard. I've just been like really into backyards in my builds lately. Like I've had some really, you know, fancy backyards, like not formal fancy, but like just a lot of stuff going on. So I've been having a fun time doing that. I don't know if you guys are like, whoa, and like you're going way too over the top in your backyards. Like no one has this. This is unrealistic, but I've been having a good time doing it. So yeah. Also, obviously, this is using custom content. That will all be linked in the description below as well, and I'm linking all of the custom content I'm using in this build in all of the parts I'm doing in this build. So there are 3 parts, I didn't mention that, but if you like this, like you can download it on Origin, and I have all the custom content links, so you'll be able to find that. But yeah, we kind of jump around a little bit in this as well, because I was just like, I was getting ideas of things that I wanted to do in the backyard while I was working on the master bedroom, and then I noticed things that I didn't like, and I was like, oh, I need to fix that. So this is jumping around a little bit. We do stay on the first floor, I think exclusively. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I apologize if you're kind of like, you're bouncing all over the place and going crazy. But yeah, so I really wanted to experiment as well with this decks, because I wish that we had multi-levels in The Sims 4, like how we had in The Sims 3 with constrained floor elevation. So I'm trying to kind of mess around with that a little bit, give a little bit more interest in the levels in this backyard, just because I think that's a lot more fun, and I think that like having patios that are slightly raised is relatively common. So I wanted to mess around with that. We have this kind of back pergola area with a hot tub and a massage table. I kind of think of that as like the adult zone, whereas on the other side of the backyard we get some monkey bars, we get a basketball court, and you know, more kid-centric stuff. So I really wanted to divide those spaces, because if you do have like the 4 kids that I set this house up for, like you probably need some adult space that's not kid space, because I think that would drive me a bit loco if I had, you know, 4 kids running around. I'm not ready for kids yet. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm thinking about that because like everyone in my office is pregnant right now, and one of our coworkers was making a joke about how like, don't drink the water, too many people are getting pregnant, we don't have enough people left. So not ready for kids, and just thinking about that from that conversation, it was a little bit weird, but like, you know, it happens. I also think I might be overdoing this like stepping stone pavers idea, because I know I did it on one of my builds quite recently, but I liked it. I kind of felt like it was almost like a Japanese garden, with how they're very kept, like they're very organized, and I don't even know what word I'm trying to think of here, but like they're just very precise in how they place things. So I kind of wanted to give that idea, but then we do get a little bit more wild with the flowers around this kind of stone wall that I'm putting in here. I also wish that we had the ability to put fences not on the tiles, like on the grid, you know? And that's kind of why I'm using these stone ruin pieces, because I couldn't put them on the grid and have all of the little stepping stones where I wanted to. So I thought this was a good workaround. I think it frames the garden really nicely and kind of preserves that more kept, more organized feel to it that I was going for, with all of the more wild flowers that I have that kind of tie into some of the other gardening stuff that we had done in the first part. So wanted to have that be cohesive, but still having it feel done up and like organized and a little more adult, because this is definitely like still part of the adult half of the backyard here with the little garden walking area. And I love this tree, this really gnarled tree from Outdoor Retreat, I believe it was. I think that tree is like so cool, and I love how it kind of shades this area and goes over the pergola as well as the walking space. I just think it's so cool. I don't know if I've ever used that tree before, but it's really neat. I also think I ended up sizing it down one. I think it's a good size, but just with all the other things I had going on here, I just wanted it to feel a little bit more like fitted to that space. So really going for that. But yeah, I don't know. I was also just trying to figure out like what to do with the rest of the space to kind of not make it seem out of place with how done up the rest of the backyard was, but still giving like some fun areas for the kids where they just could mess around and like have some grass in the backyard. Because I feel like it's weird if you literally have no grass in the backyard, but then I feel like it's a little weird that I have this like one tiny patch. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Like if you would have, put gravel across the entire thing, I think that would have made sense too. But I just wanted a little bit of patch that could be just grass, because I also do end up putting dog stuff in this house, which I did not do in the first part. We'll go back in some of the areas that we have done in section 1 and add in some dog toys there and touch that up. But I think that's in the third part. I can't remember. It's also been a little while since I've done this, so I apologize if you've been waiting for part 2 to come out like a whole week plus. It's going to be more than a week by the time I get this out, but I apologize if you've been waiting. I promise I'm trying to catch back up. I'm planning to do more recording for part 3 as well tonight, so that I will actually have that available for you guys. So yeah, here you can see I'm getting in those dog area toys and whatnot. And also just filling out things. Like we had a couple of weird corners based on how much I had kind of structured this backyard that just didn't quite go together properly. So we use a lot of potted plants as well as those gardening skill plants to make that feel a little bit more cohesive just with how done everything was. So yeah, also working on a bunch of terrain painting here. I always try to keep that type of thing in for you guys because I think terrain painting is just so important in making your house realistic that I want to show you guys kind of my process and how I do that and where I think like you should be putting terrain painting. So I tend to put like a little bit of soil around the entire house if I'm being really particular with it, because I noticed that EA did that on a lot of their provided houses, is they actually frame the entire house and just a little bit of dirt and have it shadowed right there. And I think that's so good because like you don't really notice it, but it looks so much more realistic if you like see it there. Like, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, you don't see it, but then like as you're going, you're like, oh, this looks like a lot more realistic. So I try to do that. Sometimes I'll cut it out of videos, but I do it in quite a few of the videos that I make. So that's a helpful tip too if y'all want like more realistic houses and how to terrain paint. Like I frame my entire house as well as any other section in which I have terrain painting bordering like pebbles bordering grass is all framed out with a little bit of dirt as well, because if you think about it in reality, like your grass isn't going to grow right to that rock area either. So I liked that. Yeah, working on a grill area here. I mean, this backyard is amazing. Like this would be such a fun backyard to be in. We got a pool, we got a hot tub, we got this great grill area, monkey bars, dog toys, beautiful garden area. So I think it's pretty crazy. It's a very involved backyard, but I liked it. I was also having a ton of fun with Peacemaker's new backyard stuff. Like you can see these chairs that I'm using around the dining room table are from that Oasis stuff, I think he called it, as well as the pergola that we saw above the hot tub is from that thing as well. So yeah, getting some cooler stuff in here. I don't know. I just like went way overboard, y'all. Like on this whole backyard, it's intense. Like I feel like it fits with the whole mansion theme, but I feel like most people would never have a backyard quite this perfect, quite this done up. So yeah, if you have a backyard like this, like tell me, what is your life like? Who are you that has this amazing backyard with like all these different things? Like a massage table in your backyard? Are you kidding me? I can't imagine someone having like a full-blown massage table in their backyard. Like that's just unreal to me. Anyway, we're working a little bit more on some of the decor around the house, towards the front of the house. I felt like it looked a little boring from the front, and I feel like I get this problem a lot when I try to do these mid-century ranches, is that I just put a ton of glass at the front, and then it's just boring. Like, it's all the same. It's too uniform. So I've been trying to do, like, what do you call these? These little bits that I'm sticking along the roof line, kind of under the roof line, whatever you call them. I feel like they make it look a lot more realistic as well, and I think that most mid-century houses have something like that. So I've been trying to like figure out how to do that in a way that looks normal and not crazy. Like I'm just sticking bits of wood all over the house. It looks a little over the top, but I feel like when I've seen it done well, it really helps the house. And I've seen it in some pictures in like real life houses that are awesome, but The Sims doesn't really have anything like that. And like the ones that I'm using here are custom content and they're great, but they're only at specific lengths and I want them to be really, really long, but they don't exist like that. And I don't want to size them up because then they're too thick. So I don't know, maybe I'll just look for some more custom content that has what I'm describing. I feel like you guys are probably like, Emily, what are you talking about? Like, can you like come back to earth and what you're actually doing? Because you're off on some tangent. But yeah, I don't know. I have like this vision in my head that I can't actualize and that frustrates me. So I might play around with that, but I'm also going to try to do less custom content builds in the future because I know I've done a couple lately. I really enjoy them, but I know not everyone does. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't only do them, but they're never going to go away on my channel, you guys. Like I like custom content. I like having a lot more versatility. So that's just me. Anyway, we got most of this lighting in here. I also think it's really important to light the outside of your house as well to make them look really good. I just feel like it's a little detail that you're going to really enjoy if you're actually playing in a house. So that's another thing that I would definitely recommend doing is finding the right places to put your lighting in and darkening that building lighting so you actually see what it looks like in real life. So we're jumping back to the master bedroom here, just filling it out a little bit. I mean, this is a pretty big house. Like it was a big master bedroom that I didn't entirely know what to do with. I'm going to be completely honest. So we end up just getting, a couple of chairs over here, a lot of plants. I think we get a mirror in oh no, wait. Yeah, we get a bookshelf over here in this underneath these windows. So yeah, I mean, it's still pretty empty in, the grand scheme of things, but I think that that's okay. Like, I think that it's very clean, it's very organized, and I feel like most people's masters would be like that. Like, they wouldn't want it to be too wild or busy or like, I don't know, like stressful, if you've got too much stuff going on, like you'd want a really simple master bedroom. So I'm still so in love with those paintings that are custom content as well. I'm sorry, but they're so pretty over the dresser. I just think they're really, really cool and I love them. I also wanted to play around with this little basket that is I believe it's from Buy Debug Mode with Jungle Adventures. I don't really know what purpose it serves. I think it's like some kind of harvest vegetable things, but I ended up putting this little folded towel that I imagine was like a blanket that you could use on those chairs, or if you wanted like a throw blanket on bed, like you would just, whatever you wanted it for. But I think it's a really cute basket. Like I wish it was slightly taller. And I also think I sized it up like 1 or 2 times. Like I think it's quite small when you get it. But I think that it's nice. Like I would like to have more objects like that in The Sims that were actually EA made, that were like little baskets and more decorative things. Like I know we got a couple with laundry stuff that like have pine cones in them and things like that. I really like that stuff. Like I know I have things like that around my house that I usually put like an extra pillow or a throw blanket in. And they're just nice. Like a good place to store things that you want out and can reach easily, but don't just want to like throw on the floor or the back of the sofa or whatever. So I like things like that. Anyway, working on the master bathroom here. This shower set is actually something Decor showed off in one of her videos. I know Decor showed off custom content, y'all. Like mind blown. Anyway, we ended up doing like this really big double-headed shower thing over here that I really had to fight with to make work in terms of how it would look on the grid, because these panels were only a certain size and I'm kind of working with this diagonal, which was really, really tough to make look right. So we kind of do this whole like sliding glass look to it to make it almost match up, and we use that pillar to kind of show where the end of it was, even though it doesn't quite line up. Just like go with me, it's pretty close. I'm trying, y'all. Like I want it to be interesting and different, and I wanted like a big master shower because this is a mansion and I wanted it to be fancy. So I actually like this bathroom a lot. I don't usually like bathrooms, I've said that before, but I feel like this one, it ends up being a little more colorful. Like, so I think, okay, here's why I think I don't like bathrooms. I always make them white and it's so boring, and I just need to stop making them white, and I think that I'll like them more. But then I also like when they're very clean looking, because I hate a bathroom that looks like messy and dirty and over, like certain situations overly cluttered is fine, but I like a bathroom that's just like very nice and clean and svelte. So this one, I think we get color in a really nice way. Like I ended up using a swatch of this rug from the Fitness Stuff pack that I don't know if I've ever noticed before, but the blues just tied in really, really nicely with some of the blues that I've been using in the rest of the house. And then the greens in it tied in really nicely with the master bathroom, with the master bedroom, not bathroom. We're in the bathroom already. So I just thought it tied together all the other color schemes in the house really well, and like it was still quite white, so it was still looking really clean, but then it had something that just didn't make it too boring. So I don't know, I think this is probably my favorite bathroom. I can't speak. My favorite bathroom that I've built in a really long time. I don't know if it's my favorite part of the house. I don't really know what my favorite part of this house is. I do like the office a lot that we're working on right now. We ended up kind of doing like an office area where I assumed like clients would come in, and then the other side of this office is a paint studio. So I kind of assumed that, you know, whoever worked here had like their own paint selling studio. I don't even know, what do you call that? Like a gallery. Gallery is the word I'm looking for. Oh my goodness. But they also had to meet with a lot of people for whatever reason to get their art into other galleries, or for some, I don't know, just like maybe they were on like a publication of artists or something like that. So I imagined they would need a space to have clients come in or business people come in quite a bit. So we have those two chairs in front of the desk, and we have this really nice desk space for them. And I also placed it very particularly within the house as well, that you really don't have to go through very much of the house to get to the office. Most of the rest of like the family part of the house is you go in the door and you turn right, whereas here you go in the door and you turn left, and it's pretty much the only thing that going left leads to. So I did that very intentionally so that it was more of a public space. You know, if you're going to have non-family coming through here, you don't need like, you know, work colleagues walking through your entire house for no reason. So I wanted to be very particular about that. And yeah, I mean, I do like this office a lot. I like all the colors with it. I think it also pulls in the yellow really nicely. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's a very realistic place. You know, you have a lot of books or whatever, papers on that bookshelf, but you also have it kind of fun and festive and interesting. You know, it's not just like a boring like office like the one that I work in where everything's tan. All of the desks are tan. All of the walls are painted tan. All of the carpet's tan. Like literally, it's just like a sea of tan. And I don't know. I need to get some more fun stuff on my desk that make it more interesting. I've only been there 2 months, so I haven't done like all the decorations that some other people have, but I'm working on it. So working on some of the finishing touches. In other rooms here, we go back to the living room and get those dog toys in, like I mentioned. We did a little bit to finish up the entryway because I hadn't really touched that. And then just filling out some of the hallways and making that seem a little bit more full. I don't know. I feel like it's always difficult with things like mansions where you have big hallways because you're kind of like, what do I do with the space? I don't know. But that's, you know, pretty much wrapping up the first floor, which is wrapping up this part. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are looking forward to part 3. Like I mentioned, this is available in the gallery if you want to download it. It's under my origin ID, which is Emaphant. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!